Listen. I cannot disrespect my GOAT Warren TV because I cannot fucking beat this kid in official, man. I am 0-2 against Warren TV, man. It's not, look, it's not fair to blame the creator. I was at that meeting in the NDA. Here's what I'll say about my experience about being on NDA. You have to try to play both sides as a creator, to be fair, to just be totally honest. Like, I literally talked about this on stream today about like why I respect Flats so much. He genuinely has maintained neutrality, and when you're a big creator in the Overwatch scene, like, you get ripped to shreds, and he's handled it like a champ, dude. The Overwatch 2 shill problem. Oh my goodness. Okay. Oh god. Because okay, listen, I have some things I want to say about it too, because I think it's gotten, I think the Shill accusations have gotten a little out of hand, and I haven't exactly helped that either. I've kind of mouthpieced. There definitely are some, but like I've definitely joked a little bit too much, I think, and I think people are taking it a little seriously. So let's see what he has to say.
To another video where I shit on Overwatch content creators. It's my favorite thing to do on this channel because I'm on console and have zero ties to any content creator, and I like to keep it that way. Being a content creator myself, you see Overwatch creators are the most see-through, hypocritical, baby bag bitches you will ever see. If you dislike how I talk or think I'm going too far, I suggest you leave a comment crying about it, or perhaps a dislike if your pussy gets hurt, because without those hate comments and dislikes, I wouldn't be nearly as big as I am today. However, for the rest of you, the half-fat cocks, let's try to get this video to 7,000 likes. I never set a like goal, but take this as an opportunity to voice your opinion, saying we are fucking sick and tired of pretending everything is okay, tired of these cock-sucking, boot-licking, ass-kissing, toe-tickling creators. So what made me make this video is Craigie calling Samito someone who likes to spread negativity and toxicity to gain views, when in reality, he's just very passionate and honest about the game.
Yeah, honestly, it's impressive how he just follows the same narrative, and no matter what changes, he just brings it back to the same thing. It's a zero-sum debate. It's never gonna happen. There is no world in which Overwatch would ever go back to 6v6.
So this guy says the reason we shouldn't talk about 6v6 is because it would never come back. It's pointless bitching. You just have to look at the ranking system Blizzard gave us for Overwatch 2. Absolute pointless change that made this game completely uncompetitive and unserious. Who would have ever thought that they would have reverted it back to the Overwatch 1 system? But lo and behold, SK makes a video depicting the problems with the Overwatch 2 ranking system. The community was in an uproar, and whoosh, we got the Overwatch 1 ranking system back. Who would have thought that when Overwatch 2 launched that we would have a path?
To be fair, like now that I've thought about it and I've listened to a couple videos, guys, like, this rank system is good. I still think Overwatch 1's was better for us specifically because the number system, one, you get to see new peaks, right? So once you hit Champ 5, it's like, okay, well, nobody asked what percentage in Champ 5 you were, right? It was more precise. So for the high-level players, having a numerical peak, like, there was always something better to go for each season. Like, oh, I can hit a new peak. But, like, if you hit champ, it's by rank. So this one is not bad by any means, and it's not a problem for 99.9% of players, I don't think. But I still, after thinking about it and seeing a couple videos, Overwatch 1's was better. But this one is perfectly fine. And it's significantly better than what it was at the start. So
patch where we buff health pools and make hitboxes bigger. Come on, which one of y'all saw that coming? Give me proof that a single soul guessed that would have happened, and I get on my knees right now. When he says there's no point in bitching about it because it'll never come back, it's instantly shut down by the fact that everyone complained about the Overwatch 2 ranking system because it was objectively fucking garbage, that they had no choice but to bring back the Overwatch 1 ranking system. It's the same thing for 5v5. 5v5 is objectively fucking worse for the game, makes tank absolutely a bitch to play, so obviously people in the community are gonna speak up about it. 5v5ers will say to stop bitching about 6v6 and just to have a meaningful conversation on how to make 5v5 work. The game has been out for 1.5 years. How much more solutions will we try before we realize that maybe 5v5 is just a flawed format? They've tried so many reworks. They had to balance out the new health pools and new hitboxes. They added role passives. They added passive regen to each role. Yet we still have the same problem and are left scratching our heads asking what the fuck should we do? When we know what was wrong with 6v6, we know it was the AoE healing and Brig and BAP, because the only argument 5v5ers have is double shield.
I will stand by this statement. Samito is the Ben Shapiro of the Overwatch scene. Is just invoking hatred. He is just pushing people in negative directions, and he's creating division within the scene, all to just make himself relevant. Hope he's smart enough that he knows that he's being a grifter, and he's just doing it because that's how he gets the most interaction, that's how he gets the most clicks, that's how he gets the most interest. I just hope he's aware that he knows what he's doing, and he's not just doing it.
You can't see me on the react.
Genuinely at his heart believes that he's right.
Wow. Now that's disrespectful, actually. That's so disrespectful. That's so disrespectful, actually.
Yo, Samito, I got you. Samito is clearly too mature to reply back with the same disrespect, and even if he wasn't, he still has ties to other content creators. You know, he still gets in games with them. So let me do his dirty work, since I'm someone who has no ties to any creator and says whatever the fuck I want. So let me enlighten Custa and spit some fucking gospel. Let me explain how hypocritical this dumb fuck is being. When you say Samito is being toxic for views, I want to tell you that you're right. Samito does over-exaggerate in a lot of his videos. A patch comes out that probably isn't going to drastically change the gameplay. He's going to overreact on purpose. It's very apparent, and to that I say, ask Samito. Ask Samito, does he overreact in some of his videos that he maybe puts on a slight facade because that's his persona and that's what he's known for, being toxic? I can bet my left nut that he would tell you he does, because Samito is man enough to admit it. I will admit I upload.
So a big part of content creation, I talk about this a lot, is like taking a part of your personality and like amplifying it, right? Now, as well, like just to be blunt, like I don't do my videos anymore. Like I don't do my titles. I don't do editing. I don't do any of it. All of that is done by Coach Mills. I don't have the time to do it anymore. It's because I work on Mindplex like every night, except tonight. I have tonight off, which is nice. So yeah, like obviously, like the name of the YouTube game is like clickbaiting and trying to get people to come watch your content. That doesn't mean that content isn't authentic, right? Like all of my reactions and the way that I react to stuff, the way that I see things, like I'm telling you my genuine thoughts. And like sometimes I can get too worked up. Like people can kind of get this too. Like when you're a streamer and you get worked up in the moment, like it's very easy to just lose self-control or go like you need a lot of restraint, and that's the difficulty that comes with being a streamer. And what I decided to do over time is just, instead of like trying to restrain myself, I just let it out. Mostly because I grew up watching guys like Gordon Ramsay, Stephen A. Smith, like Triple J. Jonah Jameson, like stuff like that. That's kind of like what I model a lot of my content after. But I promise the emotion is 100% genuine. I just like really put out what I feel, because I you know, I can be very I'm very hyperactive and impulsive. Obviously, you know, I was diagnosed with that when I was a kid, like 3rd grade. So, but no, like I believe what I say, and I do think that a lot, like I do think that these patches, like a lot of them, just are a waste of time because they aren't addressing the main issues of the game. But yeah, no, I'll let them keep going.
Negative videos because that's what I'm known for. That's what my community wants. That's what they enjoy. I can tell you that some of my rage in some videos is forced. I don't need to be telling y'all this. I could have left this out the video, but you want to know why I'm saying this and why I'm admitting to it? Because it's the truth. And that's what separates Samito from all you creators who accept Blizzard with open ass. Me and Samito are toxic. Yes, we might over exaggerate, but we're still speaking on our raw emotion, speaking exactly what's on our mind. You don't know nothing about that. So when you say Samito is negative because that's the way he pulls views, no, he pulls views because when people click on his videos, they see someone who is passionate about the game and can see he doesn't speak with filters and acts like it's all butterflies and rainbows. That's what I do. Insert you, Custa. If someone were to ask him if he's kissed ass so that he could be whipping Porsches, ask him if he speaks with a filter and isn't honest with a lot of things because he doesn't want to upset Top and lose his spot in creator meetings and NDAs. Him and a lot of see-through fake-ass creators would deny it because it wouldn't look good. You guys want to know why I hate creators so much and why I constantly shit on them for selling out? It's because when you sell out, you are basically putting Blizzard and gaining special treatment over your viewers. Blizzard becomes yo daddy. When you sign those NDAs, you know you're gonna lie to your viewers, you know you're gonna speak with a filter, and you know you're not gonna be able to speak your mind about a lot of things. With me, I put you guys above everything. You guys are my top, you guys are my boss, and who I take orders from. I don't mean to sound cliche, but I owe you guys the world because you allow me to have my childhood dream job. When I see these other creators who put up a facade, fool their viewers for the benefit of being on Blizzard's good side, it pisses me off to no end, and that is why I endlessly shit on them for it. Custa, it boggles my mind.
Here's what I'll say about those tweets. Like, it's not fair to blame the creator. I was at that meeting in the NDA. Like, they told us what they told us, and I can talk about this now. I don't care. Sue me, right? You know what they basically, like, all we learned in that meeting is that, like, hey, like, we're gonna start caring about the game again. Like, we're gonna start caring about like the PvP. Like, we're not gonna abandon Overwatch. Like, we're gonna come back to like the game being live service, which did like really save Overwatch, because again, I mean, this game's not better for sure, but you know, that's what that meeting was. So like when as creators we come together and we hear this good news and they come to us and say, look, we're not going to abandon the game, of course we're all going to react positively. You know, like, why wouldn't we? Like, our game that we loved was abandoned, you know, like there was nothing, like there was no end in sight. And then they realized they made that mistake of abandoning the game for like 2 years, and we're like, yo, we can't do this anymore. So I think in that case, it's not really fair to blame the creators in that specific instance. Here's what I'll say about my experience about being on NDA. When you're in the system, and it doesn't really matter, you know, to what degree, you're gonna try, like, you have to try to play both sides as a creator, to be fair. So just to be totally honest, like, you need to play the Blizzard side, but you also need to play your consumer side, right? And it's a constant, like, it's a very, and this is where I do feel bad for a lot of creators out there. It's a really hard line to walk, right? Because if you go too far off the edge on the consumer side, then Blizzard could be like, yo, what the fuck are you doing, right? But if you go too far on the Blizzard side, then your viewers are like, yo, what the fuck are you doing? You shill, you know? So it's really hard. And to be honest, like, are there shills in the Overwatch scene? Absolutely. Yes, there absolutely are. But is everybody a shill? No. And I think a lot of people on like in the big debate the last year, I think it got a little out of hand, and I could have done a better job of not mouthpiecing what people were saying as much. But it just, you know, sometimes it gets really heated and you say things you regret, which is why, again, like, I wasn't going to go after Custa, because, like, I've said plenty of fucking stupid shit on the stream. Who the hell am I? Who the hell am I to judge, of all people, right? Of somebody having an opinion, you know? It's not that big of a deal to me. But, you know, it's a tough line to walk, and that's why I respect a lot of my friends. That's why I respect Flats. That's why I respect Frito. That's why I respect SVB a lot. And there's a reason why the only show I go on is Group Up. It's because those guys, they genuinely do try to play the middle ground, even if we disagree. Like, this is the first era of Group Up where I feel like we've had big disagreements, which is a good spot to be in, I guess, because, you know, that means there's content coming out for the game. There's a lot of stuff going on. Because usually, no, I wouldn't say we were peas in a pod on Group Up, but there wasn't any big fundamental belief disagreements from, like, our Avengers group, I guess. And so that's been really eye-opening and fun for us to kind of challenge ourselves in that way. But it's hard for creators, man. It is. And, you know, the main reason I'm happy to be on my own is because Blizzard lied to me. They lied. And they looked us in the eye and withheld the information about PvE, even though they knew. Now, am I blaming Team 4 for that, or saying Team 4 are terrible people for that? No, not at all. Like, ultimately, like, that project would have sucked either way. But at the same time, I also know that they aren't reliable to talk to. And so I don't, you know, I'm not in the creator server. I'm not in the NDA program. And to be frank, I want nothing to do with it, because I can't be, like, I always wanted to be a creator that was about players at home. Like, I wanted to be and embody the emotion of somebody who gets on and just plays this game. I wanted to be relatable and not fake PMA and not any of that. Like 100% raw emotion, the ups, the downs, all of it. Because that's life, dude. Life is not fairy tale, sunshines, and rainbows, right? Like, you know, I wanted you guys to enjoy the high moments with me and enjoy the low moments with me, and have people say every step of the way it's authentic, right? And after being around, like, the Blizzard scene and the creator scene, like, you can't, I can't live that mission of mine, my personal mission as a creator, and do that. So I'm on my own, and I don't wish ill to them. You know, I don't wish ill to anybody, or especially my friends. Like, I want my friends to succeed. I want my friends to do well. I've never wanted anything less for them. That's why, you know, I've stuck my neck out for this game in ways other people wouldn't. You know, so it's okay. Like, and I'm okay with that. Like, that's how I choose to live my life. And I think that one day, while a lot of people might look down on that, I think that will be the thing that sets me apart in the eyes of many players in game development and learning. That's Mindplex is the first big step in the corporate side of things for us. And it's been listen, Mindplex has been a fucking grind, guys. You have no idea how much adversity we've had to overcome from the very beginning to now. And we're getting there with the help of our community and the studios, and then really our community has helped us so much with, like, how they crowdfunded and pre-raise money. Like, it's really covered our costs, help us hire developers, because otherwise I'm personally funding everything myself. And that can be really stressful, you know, that can be really, really stressful, because, you know, it's a hard scene to get into right now. And the economy is not doing too great either. So consumer spending is generally down. We're not going to get into that. But, you know, it's a lot. And so I do sympathize with my creator friends. I think those screenshots in particular for how that meeting went, all they really told us is that, hey, like, we're going to start, you know, actually, like, treating the game like a live service again. And they did, you know, and that was good. So that was why the responses were good. But I will give GS Raider credit. He was the only creator, and I know some people think he's toxic, that saw through the bullshit. And even I fell for the hopium and the copium. and I should have known better. And the accountability I've taken for that is that I'm no longer going to affiliate with Blizzard at all. You know, I was like, you know, the devs are doing a good job. They're doing all this and, you know, blindly waiting for PvE, even though we didn't hear anything. And he said that I was the big bad wolf. Like, what happened to you? And what happened is that I fell for the bait. And I needed to take accountability for that. And I'm still upset with myself that I did fall for that. I let myself get used. I let myself be a mouthpiece for an inferior product and convinced my audience that Overwatch is coming back because, you know, I wanted Overwatch to be back. And that was a big mistake on my part. Now, they've turned it around a little bit since then, you know, and they're, you know, got the rank system. The format's not as good, but it's still not as good as Overwatch 1. You know, that's on me. So, you know, I had to take some accountability like that. I just don't think in this case it's fair to blame all those creators because I mean, who is going to receive the news that, yeah, the game's coming back and take it negatively? Like, you know, we still had a lot of hope, you know, so, yeah. Bummer.
Sit there and point fingers at Samito for being passionate about the game. It honestly surprised me you could even get those words out with Blizzard's dick in your mouth. So if any creator wants to fall into the trap and try to cope and saying I'm making this video for clicks and attention, 1, my last 2 videos were 1 out of 10, so that means they did great statistically. And 2, this video ain't even monetized because I'm using the One Piece soundtrack. The audience is not dumb. Shape the stories how you want. Hey, Custa, they're not slow. Now let's play the name game where we point our finger of power and pass judgment. Basically just call out blatant shilling and hypocrisy. Why do I keep these clips and receipts? It's to watch them over and over again and stroke.
He was right about me though. I should have known better.
Fuck yes, GS Raider. You were so right, King. Let's start off with Warren and Otage, 2 creators who did to me what Custa is doing to Samito. Use the excuse that, oh, you're only spreading hate for views. Let's talk about Warren, who was the first cocksucker to bring up my name in a bad light for no reason, and for that I will always shit on him every chance I get. Scrawny femboy who wears maid outfits and cat ears. Now this clip alone should say everything there is to say about this guy.
I really like her voice lines. Wow. Wow. They did such a good job. Can we just all agree?
But I want to take it one step further. For any console player who calls Warren their GOAT, let me remind you that this guy left console so he can whore himself out to bigger creators. Psst. Take a shot for every YouTube video he has with another creator's name in the title. He's the most see-through because
but that's the name of the game though.
For the mentally ill ego harem that is his chat. But occasionally he will cry and bitch and moan and flame teammates while he's smurfing and let that little mask slip up. I'm pretty sure my name is banned in his chat. I mean, bro is the definition of bitch made. Saying I shouldn't have a platform because I post Overwatch toxicity. Let's
I don't know.
Here.
Warren's a shill.
Just 13 days ago, the most toxic mean girl in Overwatch. Now ain't that something?
This is the name of the YouTube game though.
Because he's the one that started it and then acts like the victim.
This seems like beef. This seems like personal beef. This is not my thing.
I really like her voice lines. Wow. Wow.
So Warren, keep doing
what is happening?
When your chat says drop, you better drop and give him another maid cosplay. Then you have Otage, which I
listen. I cannot disrespect my GOAT Warren TV because I cannot fucking beat this kid in official, man. I am 0-2 against Warren TV, man. I cannot beat this dude. Shout out Warren. Shout out Warren. Shout out Warren. I cannot fucking beat this dude, man. I cannot fucking beat this dude. I cannot beat this dude, Warren TV. I can't do it. I can't. He's my kryptonite, dude. I can't beat him. I can beat Al teams, and I can't beat Warren. Fuck. Shout out Warren. Shout out Warren.
I don't really got too much on him, and I'm too lazy to find any content of him shilling out. But like I said earlier,
he not a shill either.
Did to Samito. Oh, you're being honest about the game. You have to be doing it for views. So I just want to throw in a quick little fuck you to that Slovakian. It's so funny how both these mofos are the type to wear cat ears. It really, really does explain a lot about him. I mean, not much to say here. Bro basically set himself up. A 5v5 defender who was shoulder to shoulder with his daddy and then wants to say Samito has toxic reviews because he was simply speaking his mind and his opinion about the game.
He's creating division within the scene, all to just make himself relevant.
Again, surprised he can even get any of these words out whilst getting fucked out your green by a white boy with no Vaseline. Another 5v5 defender, who would have guessed, one of the creators who thinks the game is rated negatively on Steam because of the doomer content creators, thinking that content creators want to sabotage the game. No, we really just have to be loud so they can listen through that echo chamber they're in. Oh, and surprise, surprise, all this dick munching paid off, and he got on the Battle.net launcher and has pics like this. Yeah, it's not looking too good.
Wanted
being a babyface suck up.
Did you guys actually have fucking zero clue what's gonna hit when Overwatch 2 comes? There's like so much content.
Keep in mind the events that preceded after he said this was us getting like one new skin for the Lunar New Year event.
But they lied to every
when we weren't getting any new content. And
they listen. They didn't tell us everything they knew. They just didn't. they didn't tell us everything we knew, or they knew. I don't know.
People started to realize we were getting more skins in Overwatch 1 Graveyard Season than we were in the beginning of Overwatch 2.
Flats and
Now, a lot of
Boger.
people are going to defend these two, saying, what do you mean, Raider? Flats isn't a pro 5v5er and often calls out the game. Same would be said about Boger, but let me enlighten y'all that you don't just magically become Blizzard's golden boy without ass kissing. Do I need to bring up the receipts where Flats was the hype man for Overwatch 2, saying everything
Come
would
on,
change?
bruh.
And then the beta came, and everyone realized, wow, this is dog shit, and we got lied to. I'm sure Flats is staying neutral because he knows Blizzard needs him more than he needs Blizzard, but he's still gonna talk about stuff with a very strong filter. Flats is in a really tough situation where he's damned if he do and damned if he doesn't, so that's why he has to stay neutral. But hey, that's pretty much his fault for wanting to become Blizzard's golden boy. Then you got Boger, who also gets NDAs and goes to special events, so the same thing applies to him. Both of these guys want to talk about Marvel Rivals, by the way, a game that's open queue 6v6, making creators sign disparagement contracts that doesn't allow them to talk shit about the game. And yes, it's a shitty thing to do, but these two sign NDAs all the fucking time. How the fuck is an NDA creator gonna call out another game who makes them sign contracts?
It's a bit different. Okay. So, okay. I'm really trying to think about. There is a difference. I'm trying to think in my head about the right way to say it because the wording's important. There's a big difference between literally like legally signing away your right to disparage and criticize and a genuine gray middle ground where you're still free to choose what you want to do, but you can't just flick the bird and disparage and say fuck you. Like, there is a difference. There is a difference. And even I said that, like, it was insane that Marvel did that. And granted, they rescinded it, and they did rescind it, to be fair. I'm trying to think of the words here because when it's a gray area, guys, it really depends on how you choose to approach it, right? And I literally talked about this on stream today about like why I respect Flats so much. He genuinely has maintained neutrality, and when you're a big creator in the Overwatch scene, like, you get ripped to shreds, and he's handled it like a champ, dude. He's handled it better than I could, because I'll talk my shit. Like, unfortunately, I don't think, like, I never thought ironically, people think that I have a huge ego about it, but I never thought I was above it all. That's why I engaged with, like, a lot of the hate and the ideas and being pulled in every direction, because I didn't want to write anybody off. I always would entertain the ideas, and people always view that as toxicity. No, like, I'm just passionate. I never want to write someone off unless they play Widow. But Flats has done a really, really great job of being honest with his thoughts, playing the middle ground, because here's the reality, guys. Here's just the reality. Like, they're gonna do what they want to do, like at Blizzard, and you as a creator, you only have so much influence on it. So you might as well just do your own thing. Like, it's like, you know, it's not, there's nothing wrong with that, right? There's nothing wrong with that at all. So, and Boger too, it's like, what has Boger done? What the hell has Boger done? Boger just plays Winston, bro. He just says Winston. You know, here's the thing. Like, I've known Boger for a long time, man. Like, we played in contenders against each other. You know, he's worked really hard, and he's just vibing, enjoying content creation, man. Like, you know, I don't think Boger was a part of. Look, let me be real with you. Are there at Blizzard shills who bootlick and just kiss ass? Yes, 100%. And it's not hard to see the people who are and the people who aren't. I don't think Flats and Boger, but I will say that Flats and Boger are not those people. They're not. Now, do they obviously want to maintain their relationship with Blizzard? Of course they do. Like, and there's nothing wrong with that, right? And they haven't. Neither one of them have come out and like filtered their opinions on things because of that. It's a really hard gray area, and neutrality exists, right? I don't think it's fair to call people out who genuinely are trying to play the neutral. It's not my problem, actually. I'm not going to deal with it. It's not my problem. Not my problem. But yeah, I don't think Flats is like that. But yeah, okay.
Now this guy is the biggest Blizzard cumsock of them all, which is funny because I want to
Frito?
call out Samito for saying I'm speaking bullshit and don't know what I'm talking about when he reacted to a video of mine where I was calling out your Overwatch. Samito said I was spewing bullshit. Really, Samito? Do you see the light now? Because I know you're starting to see what I was talking about. You are now often bringing up the fact that these 5v5ers are close to Blizzard. I mean, your cumsock literally has an entire video disclosed as an ad about the Porsche collab. Bro is choosing the bag over his viewers. I guess that's why his views are getting lower and lower. And isn't it ironic that this is the guy that argues with you about 5v5? This guy really said the majority of people like to counterpick.
Overall, I do like 5v5 better. I am a player that likes to counterpick. I think a lot of players like that too.
This is the same guy who white knighted Blizzard not even 24 hours after Sequel drops his State of Overwatch video. He didn't even wait 24 hours. I mean, come on, Samito. Am I really spewing bullshit for calling this guy a shill and a Blizzard cumsock? And there are a lot of other creators I left out. These are just...
Dude, like, GS Ray, I promise you, if you had seen the things that I had seen, your opinion might be different. Like, I wish it was my place to talk about it and tell you everything. It's just not. So, I have seen Frito go listen, like, from 2018 to, like, onward. I watched Frito go toe-to-toe with Blizzard when they had bigger egos before they had fallen from their throne. It's like one of the I wish I could tell you. I really do. I really fucking do. Here's what I'll say. It's not my place.
The ones I despise the most. You can apply everything I said to every other creator that gets flown out to events and receives special treatment. Shills are everywhere for every game. It's not just a Blizzard thing. I was in the 2K community and my favorite creator, who was Flight, never got a logo despite being the biggest creator and carrying 2K19 and 2K20. Dick riding the devs is in every game, and I only call out the shilling in Overwatch 2 because it's the game where I actually have a voice to call out these fake ass see-through hoes. Not gonna drag this on any longer. If you agreed with this video, again, drop a like and think about subscribing. If you got offended, you can cry about it and I'll make sure to heart it, because at the end of the day, you're doing me a favor by interacting with my video. Bye-bye. See y'all next week.
So this kind of content usually, I try not to do stuff like this. It's not my thing. It, you know, man. This is a can of worms. Look, man, I'm gonna do my own thing. I'm gonna do my own thing. I'm gonna speak my mind, do my own thing. Where I will give Raider credit is that he was right. You know, he was right to call us all out in Overwatch 2 when it came out. He was right. We were all wrong. We fell for the bait. I wish there was more accountability, but you know, it's life, right? It's life. You gotta play the hand you're dealt. As for like a lot of his personal beef with a lot of other creators, not my place, not my business. I don't get involved with any of that stuff. It's just not my thing. But you know, I do appreciate you sticking up for me. You know, I choose not to approach it this way, just because I've got responsibilities now, and I want to learn how to be a better leader for my communities and for Mindplex. And you know, I've had to really look in the mirror as to the kind of man that he missed an R in his title, by the way. Oh my god, my OCD. You know, and that's kind of where I'm at in my life right now, where, you know, I used to be that over the top, you know, big personality, you know, streamer, and people love that because I say it how it is, and I still say it how it is. I do think what Custa said was completely uncalled for and wrong and hypocritical. I mean, you could, you know, I don't need to go on to that too much. I don't want to dwell on it because what's done is done, and I don't care about starting beef or bad blood because I think ultimately people at home can come to their own conclusions. I'm not sure where I want to fall on all this yet, to be honest. I'm not sure where I want to fall on all this yet. It's just the corporate life, I guess. You know, it is what it is. I don't really know what to say. Like, I wish I had a better answer for you. I just don't.